Yep. All right, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Just going to get started out. Of course, you always get started about 2-3 minutes late, right? You say something shows up at 8:15, I'm going to start about 8:20, of course, every single time. First of all, let's talk about this weather. Hope everybody is happy, healthy, warm, and good fed tonight. Hope everybody's going to be able to sleep in their warm beds for us tonight and eat a good hot meal with our family and loved ones and everyone else just like that. So good wishes, happy thoughts, and happy prayers to everyone out in all of Texas and throughout the whole United States. As, of course, we did shut down in this grid, man. It was big-time weather here in Texas. One of the main reasons why I live in Texas, I don't know about y'all, but one of the main reasons that I definitely live back in Texas is because of the warm weather, man. Whenever it's cold, I bitch about it being cold because whenever it's hot, I don't complain about being hot, because if you bitch about it when it being hot and when it's cold, then you're just a big old whiner, in my personal opinion, and no one really likes any of that. But first of all, I'd like to welcome you, Johnny Munoz. Yeah, man, you finally got power, man. How long are you out for, brother? I really hate to hear that. How long are you out for? And anybody go ahead and comment. I'll have to say horns up. There's all 10 of you in here. All 10's up. If anybody likes to give a thumbs up, appreciate that, guys. Of course, if you don't know me, I'm AK. I'm the owner, operator, moderator. I run the show here in the Eyes on Texas channel. If you see any of the content, it was 100% produced by me. Thank you for that one thumbs up. What's up, Jason? Horns up to you, sir. Always good to see you on the program. Always good seeing everybody. We're going to do, of course, we had Malik Murphy commit. I believe he committed back on February 13th. New news, but I don't believe I've had a live stream since then. I did have a commitment video that I did make about Malik Murphy, but I didn't have do a live stream since about him, and it's about recruiting, so it definitely fits into this video. I'm definitely going to talk about the new Chrystal balls that were dropped this week, about some new, basically class of 22 targets. I'm also going to talk about the class of 22 targets, where Texas is at with them. We definitely got some new targets in, which is definitely a new trend, a newer trend, a newer theme that Texas is doing, and that is going to be getting in earlier with recruits, man. Oh man, it's just embarrassing. It's just terrible. Getting into these recruits, getting into with these guys, and trying to talk to them and build a relationship with them and build up a communication with them whenever they're already really in it deep with another university, with another coaching staff, and all that. So that just makes it really, really, really much harder to get that momentum back, that line of communication back, with a recruit and whatnot. So, but let's go ahead and get into it. Those who don't know anything about it, Malik Murphy, 5-star quarterback. He is going to be from Jupanero, California. He is going to be I hope we can learn Candle too. He is going to be a 5-star quarterback from Jupanero, California. He is definitely going to be a West Coast kid who's going to be part of the West Coast connections that Coach Sark does have. But he's a big kid, man. 6'5". He is all of that 6'5". It's not like he's Sam Ellinger where he's really 6'1", but they list him as 6'3". He is all that 6'5". I'm going to put him right around 230 pounds. You can list him at somewhere right around there yourself. He can absolutely. What's up, Homer? What's up, UT Homer? He can absolutely sling the pill. He can absolutely sling the rock. I mean, the kid's got an absolute cannon for an arm, but that's not the 100 thing that you need for an arm, right? I mean, all these kids, there's a lot of kids out there with the big-time cannon. There's a lot of guys with the big-time arm. There's a lot of guys that can chuck the pill, right? But can you deliver the ball whenever you need to put a touch pass that's 7 yards away? There's absolutely no reason to drill it to a guy that's right in front of you, right? There's absolutely no reason at all to absolutely drill it to a man that's just 7 yards in the flat. You got to have a nice little touch whenever you're throwing those screen passes. You're just trying to loft it over those defensive linemen. That's all you're trying to do. You got, you know what I mean? You got to catch the beautiful baby. That's a very, very important thing to do. One thing that he does show, talk about Malik, and I did see it in a video that was released today on one of the boards, one of the sites that I did see, and it was showing Malik. And one of the things that I did take from that video, one of the things that I did notice about it was going to be his arm, right? And talking about his arm angles. And I'm not saying and comparing it to this certain individual, talking about Patrick Mahomes, but one of the abilities that I trust and love the most about Patrick Mahomes is that guy can chuck it from absolutely any single angle. So just throwing the ball from any angle with power, on time, with delivery is a very talent thing. Is a very something that you really can't teach. You can teach the kid all the intangibles. You can teach him whatever you want to, as far as scheming, where you want him to go, how you want him to read the defense, where his first read is, where his second read is, where his option route is, and where to get before he needs to get rid of the ball, before he needs to bail out. You can coach him up however you want to, but there is some intangibles that you cannot absolutely teach at all. Something else about him is he's more of a quiet leader. He is going to recruit for us. He is going to recruit other signees in his class of 2022, because that is something very important for a quarterback to do, without a doubt, 100%. But he is more going to be one of the quiet leaders in the room. But whenever it is time for him to be in that huddle, when it is time for him in that field, he is all ball. He is nicknamed Baby Cam, but really, honestly, I just think that's size and ethnicity. I don't think that's really anything more than that. He's not more of a dual threat running quarterback. I just do due to the fact it's more of his ethnicity and his absolute size, as he's built like Cam Newton. So that's where his nickname comes from. And in my estimation, that's what I got from that. He is linked up with several players. Like I was saying earlier, he is known to recruit. That's something a quarterback does need to do. If you want to get into a quarterback, you want to get him early. So you get him in early so he can recruit other people in the class. And he's linked up with CJ Williams, the fringe 4-star, 5-star wide receiver from Modern Day, California, as well. He's linked up with them. He's been leaning with Texas. A couple of weeks ago, he did throw up the horns up symbol, man. So a lot of these guys are throwing up the horns up symbol on the social media. That's always good to see people throwing up the horns up symbol. So CJ Williams, another person that he's linked up to, and this is someone that I spoke about when I first started the show and haven't much had any opportunity to mention his name. This is an athlete prospect from California. And his name has not been mentioned until as of recently, from what I'm finding out, and that is Larry Turner Gooden. If you don't know that name, watch. I might make a video about him, just throwing his highlights and just talking about him, as I have lots of projects going on right now. But watching his film, watch this athlete. He's listed at 6 foot tall. I don't think he's all of that 6 foot. But he is very powerful. He's very strong. I believe he's, whenever I was looking at him, he's the kid that was deadlifting like 500 pounds his sophomore to his junior year from that summer to season, the summer from his sophomore to his junior year. So he definitely has lots of strength. And that's something that you need from he's an athlete prospect, so he's positioned to be a wide receiver, but I like him more as a safety, and that's where I see him. But talking about Larry Turner-Gooden, he is linked up with Malik Murphy, and he's a powerfully strong, built, thick athlete, fast for his defensive back position. I see him more of a safety, not quite a cornerback. That's someone to look into. So if you don't know that name, definitely check out Larry Turner-Gooden. I'm going to butcher this next young man's name. That's Teatora McMillan. He is a 5-star wide receiver. He's linked up with Malik as well. Someone else that Malik could possibly help the university build a relationship with. Yes, without a doubt. And switching from the wide receivers. Malik Murphy is also, and we did offer this individual, talk about Ernest Green. He's going to be an offensive guard. I believe he is a 4-star. He's right around. I have his information for you, more information for you here coming up whenever I do list all of the class of 22 offers that are new offers, and where we're kind of sort of going with our previous offers, like the guys that were kind of sort of really getting close to commitments or not close to commitments, and possibly the guys that are going possibly somewhere else. But he is linked up with Ernest Green, a class of 22 offensive guard, an OG, original gangster, man. You need those guys up front. You need those hog mollies, especially if you think about it. If you're a pocket quarterback, if you're a pro-style quarterback, you need what? You need an offensive line, man. You want to grill some steaks back there. You want to call your girlfriend. You want to talk to your mom. You know what I'm saying, guys? You want to be out there making ham sandwiches. You know what I mean? You want to be back there eating. You don't want to be out there running around and fighting for your life, do you? No. You're definitely going to need those hog mollies. Definitely going to need those guys. There's 20 of y'all up in here right now. Let's get some thumbs up. If any of y'all don't know me, please subscribe to the channel. My name is AK, as I try to produce college football content pretty much every single day of the week. If you do like this content, please like this video and subscribe to the channel, as it does help it grow, as I'm right at 830 some odd, so I need 170 more subscriptions before I get to my next goal, which would be very, very good for me. A little personal goal of mine is to get up there, so I very, very much appreciate that. If any guys have any questions, you start lining them up. I'll start reading into those coming into a minute before I get into these class 22 guys. So I really, really love interacting with you guys. I really love talk with you guys over the internet, whatever. One of the guys I do speak to as well, the Texas Homer is in the house. He's in the comment section. I don't know if you have seen anything that he had produced. I'm sure you have. Bijan Robinson story, Sark attack. Definitely good things coming with the Texas Homer. So horns up to you, young man. So I like to say shout out to him. But if anybody has any questions, just go ahead and go into that, and I will read them, and I will go ahead and start answering that. But talking about the class of 22 and talking about recruiting for the class of 22 and other commitments that are helping out in that regard, without a doubt, our vocal leader, our vocal spokesman so far has, without a doubt, unequivocally been Jaden Ballou, the Houston area of Klein. The running back, absolutely hitting the trail hard for us on social media. He's always putting up the eye emojis, popping up in those situations and such as that. So he's always trying to pull in more commits to the university, which of course helps him out. The other one is going to be wide receiver Amani Winfield from Louisville. Going to be right next to my burb, just a couple of cities over from where I live. Amani Winfield also been doing a good job recruiting for the Horns on the class of 22. But yeah, I know, man. I feel you, Homer. All right, but see if I'm just going to read the comment questions, see who we have in here. Just kind of sort of say horns up to everybody, because I love everybody up in here. Talked about you. Johnny Munoz, horns up to you again, sir. My friend Jason Perez, horns up to you, of course. Texas Homer, my boy, horns up to you, sir. Jason Moore from Funky Town. That's me too, man. I live in Funky Town / Roanoke. You kind of sort of don't know where you live in that Fort Keller kind of sort of area of Texas. You don't really know where you are at. Texas Toast, man. I love the name, man. Horns up to you. Horns up to you. Johnny Munoz, DBC16. This is going to be the best wide receiver class in a long time. That is 100% true. I'm going to go ahead and stop right there and talk about that. My predictions on the wide receiver class. It might change because I might have to take one of them off because I don't think he might be as solidly interested in Texas as I thought it would be. That's going to be Evan Stewart. I'll talk about him in a moment. He was going to be on my list. CJ Williams, Brennan Thompson. I really want Brennan Thompson. I would love to see that speed utilized in that start offense. Of course, we already have our Monty Winfield, and I would love to see Coleman. So I think just off the top of my head, I believe that's my wide receiver wish list. Who DBC16, those are mine. Y'all can talk about yours down in another comment section down below. But we are going to have the best wide receiver class probably in the nation. I think it's going to come to a point in time where you're going to need to get in here and you're going to need to take your spot. You know what I mean? If you don't go in there and if you don't start the line of communication, and if you don't make a commitment to the university, boom, someone else is. And I think that's where it's going to be. I believe all these guys are going to be highly rated signees. All the guys that we're looking for would be very highly rated, except for I'll be fair at a Fort Bragg Marshall. I'll speak about him in a little bit, but I believe he is going to be a hardcore Aggie as of right now, as he was a high riser in his junior year. Absolutely. You want to talk about some exciting film? You want to talk about a good watch? Watch his the wide receiver, Jay Fair from Fort Bragg Marshall, has absolutely cool electric stuff that he did put on film there. But we're still saying horns up to everybody. Yeah, that's it. All right. So DBC60 says Coleman, Stewart, Williams are See, so the thing with Stewart, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about this right now. So today is the 18th of February, I do believe. And whoever it was on the 17th was the day in which they were going to decide to extend or not extend the recruiting dead period, the period in which recruits cannot officially visit a campus university with staff. Like you can't go into the locker room, you can't go in the weight room, you can't go into the any kind of sort of facility like that with an official member. You can't kind of sort of loophole it and say, oh, this is just a friend of the family. I know this guy. He went to my hometown and been shown around like that. You can't do that either. They've kind of sort of figured out that it is all going to be self-guided tours. So back to what I was saying is it was my estimation, it was my proclamation that after this time, after the 17th, that when it was pushed back to May 31st, that a lot of these recruits would be a little frustrated. They want to take their campus visits, and they want to see these universities. They want to be wine and dine, and of course you do, right? That's the point about being young. That's the part about being a recruit, is to go out and be recruited. It's to go out and see these different places, these different universities, these different people, these different coaches, these different organizations, this different way of thinking. That's part of life. So that's being shut down, and I thought this was going to make push commitment times, and it still will be. But what I thought was one of these guys that we were going to get was to be Evan Stewart, and it is now looking like he is not uninterested in Texas, not getting cold on Texas. It just he's broadening his horizons, as I say. I believe he's looking a little bit more into Oregon and possibly Georgia and TCU, I believe. So I thought that once this period would be extended, i.e. the dead period from the 17th through May 31st, that we would get a commitment from Evan Stewart, and it's not looking like that. So that is the way it is right now. Sergio Herrera, horns up to you. Austin, Texas in the house, man. Hook them up. Yeah, talk about Austin, Texas. That is good to hear. Billy, Texas will not be anything until they start getting first-round draft picks on both sides of the line. We'll talk about first-round draft picks on first sides of the line. We would have Joseph Osai and Sam Cosme. They're definitely going to go high second, low first round. We're possibly going to have we have five, 6 guys possibly drafted this year. So we do have good things coming. We definitely do have good things coming with players getting drafted. But you are 100% right. We do need that level of average draft pick to rise up. We do need to see these first rounders. We do need to see these top 10 guys. That's why, by far, bar none, my number one player, most important player on the Texas University football team is DeMarvion Overshawn. For that main reason, for the main reason being that he was a big time talent, which we're always given a hard time about when we get talent, not developing that talent and making it into a high draft pick that we're talking about, right? He was a five-star safety. Wasn't really going to be a safety. He's too much of a big body. He was 6'4", 6'5", 215 pounds. So he was a little bit too rangy of a safety body to begin with. Struggled a little bit. His first season was injured. His sophomore season did very well this past season. Not quite a breakout season, but someone who definitely did a good job without a doubt. This past season, but DeMarvion Overshawn needs to blow up. He needs to absolutely put himself on the map this past year. He absolutely embodies what the University of Texas is, as far as where we are viewed as a university, from not being able to develop talent and make that talent into high draft picks. So we need him to ball out of control and tear it up and have a great season in 2021. But talking about Texas Longhorn football, one of my buddies here on social media, one of my buddies on college football, the big dog of college football is in the house. So if anybody wants to holler at him, he is going to be an SEC guy. He is going to be an Alabama Crimson Tide. So he knows all about Coach Kyle Flood. He's seen that Sarkisian offense. He saw the train number 6 ball out a whole entire season. So what's up to you, big dog college football? If you do, in fact, like SEC football or college football in general, I definitely go check him out. The rising tide floats all boats, my friend. But let's go ahead and you agree about DeMarvion, Homer. I do too, man, because to me, he is someone that embodies what Texas football is. What people think that might be a problem, but what I see is a great opportunity and a great solution for Texas to shine. DeMarvion needs to shine, and I believe he will. I believe he's had that time for his mind to speed up with his body, for his mind to trust his eyes, to trust his reads, because he's got the athleticism, he's got the wheels to cover out there in space, sideline to sideline as an outside linebacker. Might struggle a little bit as a safety with that height and movement and then just all those limbs to move. I'm 6'3" myself, you know what I mean, and I do have a good coordination and whatnot. But man, I was never able to dunk. And I was never able to run a 4.4 in the 100 in the 40, but whatever, man. Let's move right along and let's talk about the class of 2022. As we do have lots of new offers, let's talk about not only the new offers that we do have. Let's talk about the guys we're going. The guys, people that we have already had recent offers out and where we are with them. Yeah. All right. So we already did talk about Malik Murphy without a doubt. 5-star commit from California. Big time, baby. Cam. Holla at your boy. Okay. So talking about Jaden Blue, our big time, major prime time running back prospect that we did get from the Houston area. We need to pair him up with someone. Person that I liked to pair him up with the most is going to be Zach Evans. He's going to be a Rockwall, Texas running back. And what I do like about him is I do like the fact that I do view him as a slot back. I view him as an all-purpose back. I view him as someone who can catch the ball out of the backfield, line up in the slot sometimes. So someone that we can hand the ball off between 4 to 6, 7 times, something like that, and equally get about 4 to 5 receptions. So basically 8 to 11 to 12 touches a game, that kind of sort of player. And what I do like about him is if we would get a commitment from a player like Zach Evans, he's a nationally rated 3-star recruit, 691 by 247 Sports, right? Jaden Blue. If we were to get a commitment to Zach Evans, he's not going to scare off our prize bell cow as a running back in the class of 22, right? And that's very important because it is a bit of a lean running back year in the class of 20. Excuse me, and the class of 2022 is a fairly deep running back class. It's the class of 2023, which you really do not want to miss out on in the running back position. But I do like Zach Evans. He is going to be a 5'9", 185, very low down to the ground, very solidly built individual who I like to pair up as Jaden Blue. But he has been linked up in Chrystal Ball to recently by a couple of sites to Notre Dame. So the Fighting Irish are in a good standing with the young Rockwall Heath prospect. So that's what's up with him. Of course, we have Kevin Coleman, wide receiver, always been a big time link ever since we've got with Sarkeesian. He is going to be from St. Mary's, St. Louis High School. What I love about him is the athletic freak, just jumps out on film. That's what jumps out on tape is the fact that he is absolutely able to jump out of the building. He is 5'11", 170 pounds, but he uses that all to his best ability. My number one guy that I've been talking about for a while, who I thought would make a commitment to the Horns as of recently, probably within the next 2 weeks, but is now broadening his horizons like I spoke about earlier, is going to be Evan Stewart. He is broadening his horizons. The 175-pound prospect from Liberty Frisco High School is my number one guy on the board. He is nationally rated as just right on the fringe of that 4 to 5 star area. But Evan Stewart, still crystal ball to the University of Texas. It's just that crystal ball has definitely been lowered. I've been talking about Chris Marshall from Missouri City, Texas. He is going to be the young individual who did have an exciting and explosive junior campaign for his hometown and there in Missouri City. But he has been crystal ball to the University of Texas A&M, and he is linked up with them pretty kind of sort of hard. And that is where he is leaning as of right now. But he's a big-time prospect. He is naturally rated as 412, but he will surely rise whenever 247 and a lot of other composite sites do redo their ratings. By my estimation, I believe that he will be a fringe 3 to 4 star player. All right, let's see what y'all are talking about here. What's everybody talking about? Big dog college football. I have to say what's up to you. DeVarmy Armstrong has a really bright future this season, breaking down his game film. Yep. Yeah, but would you say he had a breakout season? I would say he had a season in which he flashed. He had a season in which he showed us some things, but consistently play in, play out. He did miss some plays. He did miss some reads, but when it was time to play, when it was time to him to set up a ball, he definitely did show that without a doubt. Talking about DeMarvion, without a doubt. The more wins, yep, I agree with you. Billy Breedles says the more wins, the more talent will come, without a doubt. A lot of guys are going to be, I believe that's what it's going to be with the offensive linemen. I believe the offensive linemen are going to be to show it on the field guys. I believe the skill position guys, they are definitely going to trust Coach Sark. His reputation has been speaking for itself from being the offensive coordinator at the University of Alabama and just having the first wide receiver win the Heisman in 30 years. ever since the University of Michigan guy was striking the pose ever so famously so. And on the defensive side of the ball, I do believe defensive coach PK, our defensive coordinator, I believe he will be able to pull in. Has a good reputation as a great defensive coordinator. Has a very, very solid reputation on the West Coast there, without a doubt. So you like the second running back to be Miller or Citizen? I definitely like Miller. I don't know that much about Citizen, to be very honest with you, but I do like Miller. I believe Miller. One of the other running backs that we were looking up to get was also linked up with Notre Dame. It just wasn't with Notre Dame as well. It might have been him as well. It might have been Miller. We're talking about Owens being faster. I wouldn't call it a breakout in the media sense, but if you watch the game, him specifically, he did have a breakout year. It was quiet. Ha ha. Makes sense. Ha ha. Ha ha. Okay, right on. That's what everybody's talking about. Let's go back onto where I was talking about. We were talking about Chris Marshall, wide receiver from Fort Bend Marshall. He is a Chrystal Ball to Texas A&M. He was one of the ones that wasn't highly rated coming out of his sophomore into his junior season, but he did ball out. Was definitely one of the wide receivers on lots of people's lists for the University of Texas. But I'm talking about, new offers, and this is going to be an out-of-state offer. From Atlanta, Georgia. So I believe you might have to struggle this guy. You might have to UGA, talking about Holden Stay. And 6'4", 220 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia. Of course, these are all class of 2022 guys. So this is all we're talking about. This is when we're talking about new guys. We're talking about the class of 22. I believe I might possibly another live stream on Saturday afternoonish, and we might possibly do the same thing, but do it specifically on the class of 23 offers. I'm definitely going to talk about one class of 23 guy in this live stream, without a doubt. I'm going to talk about Jaden Greathouse, but I'm not going to leave the rest of the class of 23. I'm going to talk about them on Saturday. But talking about Holden Stays, he's a big-time recruit for a tight end. Not many highly rated tight ends, not too many highly touted star tight ends. He is nationally rated as a 204th recruit and the number 12 tight end at all. He is from Atlanta, Georgia. And of the two recent tight ends that we did offer, he is the one that's expressing the most interest. The other one that we did also produced with the same measurables. He is going to be another out-of-state offer. He is going to be from Cumming, Georgia. So we double-dipped the red dirt state here in the class of 22 for the tight end position. And he's also another 4-star, as he's the next rated tight end by the composite. So the tight end position, which I personally think we're doing rather well. In the class of 21, talking about the tight end position, we have Gunnar Helm. That he is most definitely going to be a split out tight end. He has worked up. He has bulked up his body from his junior and senior from his junior to his senior campaign. As a junior, I believe he played right around that 215 pounds. And whenever I watched the interview on him, he said he bulked up to right around 240 pounds, which he played right around the senior. But he did work on his inline blocking, talk about Gunnar Helm, but he will always be known as a split-out tight end. And we also are going to have Juan Davis as listed as an athlete prospect, played everywhere on the field. That's why I call me Everman for Everman in Fort Worth. But he is listed as a tight end prospect. And, of course, we're going to have the 5-star Jatavion Sanders, who's definitely going to get a run on offense, by my personal opinion. I believe he will definitely end up on defense. I believe he's going to grow into that body, talking about Jatavion Sanders. But I believe that we are going to give him a run at the tight end position. But we do have these two offers out. And of the two tight end offers that we do have out, between Oscar Delp from Georgia, the state of Georgia, and Holden Stays, also from Atlanta, Georgia, I believe Holden is expressing the best line of communication with Texas. So I'm not going to go over hardcore linemen because I talk about linemen all the time because we're not really progressing well with the tackles. We're not progressing very much farther with the outside position with the offensive line. But Devon Campbell still pressing on DJ Campbell, my number one overall prize possession in the class of 22 for the in-state prospects for offensive lineman. He's an absolute road grader, absolute crazy athlete. Needs to trim it down and get closer to his sophomore body. He is listed at 295 pounds. I believe he's still over 3 biscuits, but without a doubt, he is definitely explosive. Whenever you watch his sophomore campaign, you watch that sophomore film, he is just so fast, just running with the ball carriers whenever he's going out and pulling and lead blocking and just straight running over people, ragdolling everyone. DJ Campbell, 5-star guard, still crystal ball to Texas, but need to make more headway. I would hope for a commitment from DJ as of right now, but he is still extending it, probably looking into extending it into the summertime. But Ernest Green, the offensive guard that was linked up with Malik Murphy, who has ties with Malik Murphy. He is from Bellflower, California, so he does have that West Coast ties. But he is an absolute moose. He is a road grader of an offensive guard, listed as 330 pounds. That's massive. That's just massive. So of an absolute individual, considering he's probably 16, 17 years old, but that's rather here to there. 6'4", 330 pound, nationally recognized as the 45th best player in the class of 22. Without a doubt, Ernest Green would absolutely be a must-get commit for the University of Texas, as he is linked up with Malik Murphy. So part of Malik Murphy committing to the University of Texas and recruiting for the University of Texas while he is a commit here. So that's what you 100% going to do, because as a quarterback, it's easy to get wide receivers to come with you, right? Because everybody knows you throw it around with them on these 7-on-7 camps. You're there all the time on these 7-on-7 and these camp scenes, but the big uglies, you don't really see them as much on the offensive linemen in these circuits. So recruiting them and bringing those along with you, especially as I alluded to earlier, if you're a pro-style pocket quarterback, you're going to want to be out there grilling burgers, man. So you are going to be not going to be wanting around. So you're definitely going to want to have these guys along with you. So let's see what everybody's talking about. Chris Marshall is a dog. This was the first year. This is first year, true year playing. That's right. He was a basketball player, right? Talking about Chris Marshall. Believe he's a bit of a knucklehead, though. He had a couple of bad penalties in their playoff game, if I'm not mistaken. A couple of bad 15-yard personal fouls of whatnot. So that's really not the kind of sort of stuff that you do want to get into. Talking about those mental issues, things that you can and can't fix. Sometimes between the ear issues can be a bit too difficult to deal with from any kind of aspect in life, whether it's coaching the football field, being a dad, being a mom, or just being a regular person in life, right? If we can flip Bear, it would be great for the defensive line. It would be Bear. He's talking about Bear Alexander there, the 4-star defensive tackle from Denton Ryan, as he committed to Georgia about a month ago, 4 weeks ago, committed to the University of Georgia. We're still on the horn with him, but he did make that commitment. And once they do make a commitment, it is harder to flip them once they've made a commitment, because you do have to get them to decommit in order for them to flip. So I agree with, hopefully we get a Bear Alexander, but yeah. But we have tons of tall. We have tons of tall, talented tight ends. We just need to throw them the ball, please. So talked about the question is, does Sark hit the transfer portal for offensive linemen after the spring game? So I think he definitely will hit the transfer portal after the spring game. Also going to be possibly offensive linemen, definitely going to hit up on the offensive in the portal, as well as linebackers as well. Something I think that we might hit in the portal. 330. Geez, I know. Think about it. Like, I'm a grown adult, like I eat tons of food every single day. I'm a skinnier, leaner fella, but I'm not over 200 pounds. I'm right at 175, 178 myself. But yeah, absolutely ridiculous. And there was this one guy. He's listed as a weak side defensive end. He's got this thick, giant neck, and I just see a picture of this kid. Is like, how can anybody with a neck that thick be listed as a weak side defensive end? But whatever. All right, so Ernest Green, offensive guard, big, ugly, absolutely would need to seal that deal. But if anyone is trending anywhere as the offensive line position, as of right now, there's a new trend. Because DJ Campbell, without a doubt, is linked to the University of Texas and is still crystal balled to the Longhorns. But a new trend, or a newer trend, is going to be Connor Robinson. He's going to be the offensive guard from Westlake, the Chaparrals, back-to-back state champs, as we did offer him just about 3 weeks ago. But the offensive guard making good headway. Coach Flood, from sea to shining sea, man, he is offering up these offensive linemen going from New Jersey to the state of New York, of course, in-state to California, talking about Connor Robinson, all the way to California. We're talking about Ernest Green as he is making headways. But my main concerns still will remain the same. And my main concern is we still need to get these commitments. We still need to get commitments. We still need to get signatures. This is a race that you cannot get second in. I personally have a saying, almost never get you laid. You have never almost got laid. So it is the exact same thing with these commitments. Coming in second, you get absolutely nothing for these recruits if you do not get them signed on the dotted line. But talking about weak side defensive ends, now we're going to the defensive side of the ball. DJ Westloke, he is a big tall kid in the 2022 class, 6'6", 230 pounds. Texas just recently offered him within the last week, as he is nationally rated just on the fringe of being a 3-4 star. As he is a nationally rated 368 nationally rated recruit from Boonville, Missouri. New defensive line recruit. And as of today, we offered Zach Swanson from Arizona, from Brophy College Preparatory, another 4-star weak side, strong side defensive end, as we did just make this offer out him today. And talking about another strong side defensive end, and this is a young man, not too many offers, not quite rated out. He did have a good defensive year on the strong side defensive end, but in the class of 2022, not too many offers out yet. Talking about Jamari Montet, as we did get in early at this with this recruit, so hopefully that will result in a commitment, and that will hopefully balloon some results for the Texas Longhorns. But talking about another defensive lineman, someone Christopher Ross, as he was scheduled to make a commitment, but he was offered by the Trojans of Southern Cal, so he did make the decision to go ahead and think about his recruitment date, and he did denounce that he was going to go ahead and commit, because he did initially say that he was going to commit on March 23rd, but he now has denounced that as far as what I'm showing. But he is still a Texas lean. He is still crystal balled to the University of Texas. It's just that he will not be committing on the 23rd. Oh, it says that he will committing on March 23rd. Oh, okay. So that's over a month away, because he was set to scheduled within a week, and now it's showing that he pushed it back to over a month ago. So that's what it's showing now. So he was originally supposed to commit within a week, and now he pushed it back a month. So that is what the Christopher Ross situation. But Christopher Ross, if you don't know him as a recruit, he is a thick-legged defensive tackle from North Shore in the Houston area. Is they must have a great strength and conditioning coach, because if you watch a lot of their players on film, if you watch their games, they have strong, thick-legged athletes. And Christopher Ross is the next one in that long line of thick-legged athletes from North Shore. Is again, we got in early on at this prospect as Texas was one of the first offers to make this commitment from the Houston area. So Christopher Ross, hopefully we can get a commitment from him, what says on March 23rd. So right in a month away, he is set to announce. I just got about four or five more guys here in the class of 2022 that I want to talk about. Then I'll start fielding all of your all the rest of your questions and see whatever else you guys want to talk about here in this live chat and where the class 22 recruiting is going and anything else about Texas Longhorns football you want to talk about. But we did offer a new. I'm not going to say his name. Nuefa Tuamalka is his name. He is going to be from Mission Hills, California. He's an inside linebacker. He is 6'2". It is said that he might possibly kick in to the rush edge. He might grow up and then develop into an edge rusher, being that he is already listed at 238, almost 240 pounds already as a junior going into his senior year. So if he does, in fact, get into that 250 range, he would probably, my estimation, and the estimations of recruiters, I would say be a beef up, bulk up, and just go ahead and become a defensive lineman, as there's not really much of a need for these big-time thumping interior inside linebackers these days in the game of football, especially in the Big 12, where we like to throw it around a lot. You know what I'm saying? So that is not something that is really valued. So Nuefa Timaka might possibly go kick it into closer in on the front seven and become a rush end. But talking about the class of 2022 and talking about in-state prizes and talking about the biggest in-state prize on the defensive side of the ball, as far as linebacker, is going to be Harold Perkins, as he is a 5-star outside linebacker. There's not too many linebackers that are rated as 5-star, period. As they are viewed as being potentially the first 32 players drafted into the NFL. There's not too many NFL outside linebackers drafted into the NFL in the first round. So thus, the reason why there's not too many 5-star linebackers in the composite, and Harold Perkins is special. He is from Cypress, Texas, in the class of 22, plays his ball for Cy Park. He is right at 6'3", 205 pounds. He is a pretty solid Aggie lean in that regard. He's just one of the in-state prize possessions that Texas does need to keep the hammer down. Just still needs to keep in that focus. He needs to keep in that line of communication. Not that he's a Texas lean. He was just one of the guys that I want to bring to your attention, talking about Harry Perkins from Cy Park. So the linebacker, outside linebacker, who made a lot of headway this year, who a lot of the Texas Longhorns fan really wanted an offer for the whole entire season, does seem to be a bit of a state favorite, a fan favorite in general, from Carthage, outside linebacker Kip Lewis. As that defense from Carthage, the whole entire team, I don't know if you watch high school football as I do, is they flat out annihilated their competition throughout the whole entire season. And in that final game, they looked very impressive as well. As I do believe they went undefeated. I could be wrong in that, but Carthage, yeah, I'm pretty damn sure they went undefeated. But anyways, nationally rated as a 3-star, 461 outside linebacker, and he is the 80th prospect overall in the great state of Texas. But Kip Lewis does play some good ball. Talking about his production, it's ridiculous. Thinking 140 tackles, 17 tackles for loss, and 4 sacks. So that is pretty ridiculous. That's almost 10 tackles a game. That is absolutely ridiculous. Especially being a part of the defense, leading your team in tackles as a linebacker, as a junior for a state champ. That's pretty impressive. And I talked about this individual earlier. He's from St. Bernard, California, talking about Larry Turner Gooden, an athlete prospect, someone that's to be linked up with Malik Murphy, someone that Texas who did offer quite a long time ago, but not much interest turned throughout the whole entire regime while we had the old coaching staff led under Coach Tom Herman. But ever since we have had Coach Sark, and ever since we've been linked up pretty hardcore with Malik Murphy, and especially since Malik Murphy did commit on the 13th, Larry Turner Gooden has perked up. But the real athlete that I really want to get into the class of 22, I do want to see this speed on the field. I want to see this speed in the Sark offense, and I believe all you do too as well in the comment section, talking about Brennan Thompson from the small town of Spearman, Texas, as he's the fastest recruit that I can name personally. If anybody thinks they can name him the recruit faster, go ahead and name him. But in the state of Texas, he is without a doubt the fastest. I do know that he ran a 10.28, I believe it was, in the 100 officially. Yeah, so that's Brennan Thompson. I would love to see him as a wide receiver take in the 2022 class. But as an athlete, he is the number 7th rated athlete in the 247 composite. Brennan Thompson would love to see it. But what questions you guys have? Any of you that are new here have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do so, as I try to produce college football content, Texas high school football content, and obviously I'm a Longhorns fan. So if any of those things kind of sort of interest you, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, he is super fast. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up, as I would very much appreciate that. As the Eyes on Texas channel, we're going to keep it rolling, baby. So let's see what kind of sort of comments we got going here in the comment section, what y'all been talking about. So they're talking about Chris Marshall is the dog. It was his first year playing. That's right. He was a basketball player. This D-line class, the D-line will not be will not be a bad class at all. We're not going to have a bad class across the board at any position at all. Not one position group is going to be lacking in my estimation this year. I would disagree with you. It would be great if we can flip Bear, without a doubt, but I don't think it would be lacking. Yep, Sark does hit the transfer portal. Can you say what's up with my son, Jaquan? He's watching now, and he loves the Horns. Can you show him? What's up, Jaquan? Horns up to you, man. So whatever it is you got to say, put up in the comment section below, and I will say about that. Or if your dad, you want to say anything else to your son, I got that for you too. But what's up to you? Horns up to you, Jaquan, and I hope that you were doing warm and safe and this cold Texas day. My little bro is 6'6" and 330. That's funny, man. That sucks to have a little bro that's absolutely towering over you. The University at Texas Westlake. Yeah, I don't. Cade Klubnik is, with my estimation, what I've been reading about him as of recently. As soon as Clemson will offer him, I believe that's where he will go. If Clemson was to ever offer Cade Klubnik, that's where he would go. In my estimation, talking about Cade Klubnik, I don't see him in a Texas Longhorn uniform. If we get a second quarterback commit in this class, that's great. But I don't see that being Cade Klubnik. I do see if he is offered by Clemson, I see him go that way. I do also know that of his offers right now, he's also excited about the Tar Heels. He's digging on Mac Brown up there and up there in Tar Heel land. Ross is actually former teammates with Jalen Gambo. Yep, Jalen G, a commit, and Jordan Thomas, Port Arthur Memorial. Man, I love Jordan Thomas, my favorite D lineman in the class of 2021.
Thanks. Yes. Are yours.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You just try one in. That's okay if I try one.
Okay.
That's a little bit sour.
Okay, thank you. Shut the door.
A lot spicy.
Okay, I love you. All right, and right on cue, I don't know if y'all have ever seen an Eyes on Texas live stream, live chat. It's always interrupted by one of my children, and of course that was my daughter. So let's see where we're at. But yep, Carthage, Keontae, and Clavante. Yep, from our former running back is going to be from Carthage without a doubt. 10.2 in the 100. Kelvin Banks, I do believe I have some information on some crystal ball stuff. I guess I can go ahead and get into that right now, but just after I finish this up. No, I meant the D-line class in general is bad is compared to other years. Okay. All right, so he wanted. Let's talk about some crystal ball stuff. talking about where some of these guys might possibly go. Yep. All right. So Denver Harris from North Shore, he is a 5-star cornerback. He is still linked up with the here. He is still crystal ball to the Texas. He was more interested in Coach Jay Valai under the old coaching staff, and Coach Jay Valai was let go whenever we got the new coaching staff in, and then hence Denver Harris's recruitment and his interest has lowered. Some he is still crystal ball to the University of Texas, but that has been lowered just a bit. Arlington Bowie, the 5-star offensive lineman, the guard, the massive monster, the absolute wrecking ball, Devon Campbell is a crystal balled with a number. He has 4 crystal balls in for the University of Texas. 4-star Liberty wide receiver Evan Stewart. I spoke about him earlier. I thought a commitment from him would be coming up here recently. As soon as the date was extended, as far as as far as the recruits not being able to go out and make official visits, that was extended. The dead period was extended. I thought he was going to be one of the athletes that was close to making a commitment. And once that was extended, I thought that he would be one of the guys to make his commitment then. But he's been then broadening his horizons just a little bit. Been talking to TCU and Georgia is what I'm hearing, as well as the University of Oregon for Evan Stewart. But he is still crystal ball to the University of Texas. It's just that the confidence level has been lowered a little bit on the composite by 247 Sports. But Bryce Anderson, the 4-star Westbrook safety, he has been crystal ball to the University of Texas as far as 2 safeties really kind of sort of have. Landon Hullaby, the brother of Jalen Hullaby, the linebacker that we already have on campus here on the 40, has been linked up and has been crystal ball to the University of Texas. So we're looking good in the defensive backfield in the class of 22 as we are loaded up on the safety side of the ball. We were crystal balled recently, as I spoke to you earlier, about Connor Robinson, the Austin Westlake guard, offensive guard, Chris Ross, the defensive tackle from North Shore. We have been crystal ball to as well. His commitment date, he did push it back. I just read it. I didn't realize that till just now. The actual date was set till March 23rd. The Longhorns are still looking pretty solid in here, but as far as the commitment, he wasn't quite 100% ready. But talking about Calvin Banks, he was one of the offensive linemen that didn't really have all that much movement as far as his recruiting. He is one of those guys that I believe that we need to show on the field as much with these high offensive tackle prospects. In my personal opinion, yeah, Raising Cane's, man. My wife likes Raising Cane. She likes the fried chicken. I don't know what you want me to say. Yeah, I do that, and I do the Diet Cherry Coke, the Coke Zeros. I think those are absolutely delicious. But yeah, Raising Cane's, the wife actually likes the Raising Cane's, and they give you the cut for free, and I guess the advertisement worked. Cheers. Some other questions you guys have concerned in the class of 22. I do like where we are going. I do like the fact that we do have 3 guys that are going to be committing, that are going to be recruiting for us. As I talked about that, Jalen Blue in the Houston area, on the social media scene, making big time impact, trying to get others on board, try to get others on the 40 along with him. Amani Winfield from the DFW area, the Louisville area. He has been doing a good job at recruiting in that area as well, the DFW area. And as a quarterback, Malik Murphy is linked up to several targets as well. 3 wide receivers, as well as the offensive guard that I talked about, Ernest Green. So as a wide receiver, you definitely need that's what I was talking about. Malik's bringing some people. Malik, I spoke about this earlier. Most of y'all weren't in there. Let's go ahead and bring that up. The people who I have Malik Murphy linked up with, C.J. Williams, the wide receiver from a modern day, the fringe 4-5-star wide receiver, Larry Turner Gooden, the athlete prospect who both plays on both sides of the ball as a wide receiver and as a safety, but I like him on the safety side of the ball on the defense. Strongly, powerfully built athlete, Larry Turner Gooden, Teatra McMillan out of California as well, another wide receiver that Malik has been linked up to. But bringing in, of course, wide receiver is great if you're a quarterback, because you really want to pull everyone else along with you. With that being said, offensive guard Ernest Green is also said to be friends. Malik Murphy as well on some sort of circuit, as he is from California as well, as he's working that California connection. So H7 horns up. That's to answer your question, is that's going to be the person that Malik Murphy is linked up with. So those are the people that he could possibly be bringing along with him. Oh, man. So what's everybody else excited about? Which one of our new coaches are y'all most excited about on the new coaching staff? Me personally, I'm really excited to see what Coach PK is going to do, as his defensive philosophy is a lot different. A lot of his you like Coach PK, John Moore. What do you like about him? What I like about him is his rush ends. They seem to be really versatile. He likes them to be both standing rush ends and play in a traditional 3-point stance. I think that is going to lead to confuse the defense. To confuse the offense and put more versatile athletes out there. So I think we're more gearing to the more strong side defensive ends that are athletic enough to rush the quarterback and play standing up and in a traditional 3-point stance. Player development. That's what you like about him. That's what you like about him. Yeah, he's I forget all the names that he turned out while he was there at UW for the Huskies, but he definitely turned out some big names. Shaq Thompson, a defensive back, maybe is one of the guys that comes off right off the top of my head, but he's definitely well respected out there on the West Coast. Definitely put up some great defenses. Ever since he's been in the Pac-12 these past 3-4 years, it's pretty much well safe to say that he's had been the best defensive coordinator out in the Pac-12. Now, whether if that's like being a slightly below average on a short scale, considering that nobody plays much defense out there, that's going to be said. I don't believe Via Veda. That's the other one. That's going to be another one. Big time interior defensive lineman. Whether that's going to be said, but yeah, definitely looking forward to Coach PK. Pardon me. I definitely want to see if Coach Flood can transition that Alabama recruiting into Texas. I definitely want to see if it was just only Alabama recruiting itself and developing the talent itself and producing these athletes, producing these top tier first round NFL draft picks, or if it was the coaching and the development by Coach Kyle Flood while he was there. That's one of the things that I was definitely interested in. And of course, just like everybody else, I'm interested in seeing Coach Sark's scheme, what he can do with the speed and its talent. That is a very, very deep wide receiver class in state and across the board, out of state. Period. Very looking forward to see what he can do with that. But another question H said, have anyone going to be as good as Troy O? Man, Troy Amiri, man, they said before he tore his ACL and MCL. I know he messed up his knee pretty bad in fall camp. in a fall camp this past year, and as a true freshman, he said that he was going to be the starting X, that he was dominating people, which is very rare for a freshman to be dominating the competition. But do I see anybody beating him if he can come off that injury just like he was, still be that big, giant, explosive athlete? Because I believe he is 6'3", 220 pounds. So being that big and that fast, if he can still move that big body in an agile and explosive way, I don't really see anybody being as good as Troy this year. I do like a lot we do have with the incoming class. I do like with the fact that we do have Jaden Alexis, who can both play on the inside and on the outside. But with everybody of Eagles going to the NFL, as far as that X position, I do see Troy O probably being the alpha dog there. But great question. Hearing good thing about Troy Beckton, the strength. Yeah. I have as well. Hearing great things about our strength and conditioning coach. He's been making it very difficult, been very challenging for the athletes during the workouts. Is the information that I've gathered, but he's also making it almost fun, almost to the fact that it is challenging. They do want to push themselves more, but a great comment. I'm hearing great things about our strength and conditioning coach as well, Coach Beckton as well, without a doubt. The 22 of y'all in here right now as well. I'm still here for you without a doubt. AK, the owner, operator, moderator, whatever else of here in the Eyes on Texas channel. If you've never been here before, please subscribe to the channel. Drop a like on this, as it does help the channel grow, as this does help out with the algorithm, get me the likes and views, and progress the channel even further. I do talk about college football, Texas Longhorn football, and Texas high school football content pretty much every day of the week. I do live streams, highlights, monologue type videos, so holla at you, boy. If you do like this, please go ahead and subscribe this, just like H7, like this channel, dudes, he says. But yeah, very much appreciate that. If you have any more questions, please. What up? I'd like to holler at Mr. George Bates, who is in the comment section right now. If that name is not sounding familiar to you right now, I did a video on his son, Christian Bates. He is a inside linebacker from Pittsburgh, Texas, and he does something very not unique to football, but he does something very well in football. And if you're a lead blocker and you're coming into Pittsburgh and you're coming up the middle, you might not want to go somewhere else when 5'2" is coming up there, because he is going to run you over. Holla at you, boy. George, how you doing? What does he have to say? George says UT to jump on Christian Bates. He lists his size here. He has him at 6'1", 230-pound junior middle linebacker. He says he's a beast. Very much enjoyed making that video for Mr. George Bates about his son, Christian. Very excited about to see where his recruitment does go, where he does land, where his future does lie, playing his football out there in Pittsburgh for the Pirates. So holler at you, George. Josh Moore, horns up to you, sir. Appreciate it. Very much appreciate everybody in here. Very much appreciate everybody out today. Hope everybody's been safe throughout this whole entire time. I know lots of people have been very cold. Lots of people have been without power. I was without power just the first night. Sunday night, we were without power. We had the rolling blackout thing happening about every 20 to 30 minutes from 8 p.m. to about 1 p.m. It's about 1 a.m., and then after 1 a.m. till about 6 a.m. it shut off completely. But I did hear that there were many people, thousands and thousands of people that were without power for 40 or plus hours. I heard some people that were without it 50 hours, and just my hearts and prayers with everybody. Hope everybody's all right with that. We're going to hope everybody has been warm and is better now. And again, of course, to showered and shaved up and get to looking and smelling better. Am I going to the spring game? I'm going to try. I'm going to try to go as much places and get as much football in as I possibly can, to be quite honest with you. And hopefully the spring game will be included in that. Would absolutely love to go see. But I'm pretty busy, man. Like I have 3 kids that are all really young, and my wife, she works as well. She's a teacher as well. She is a communications teacher. So all of her students are autistic. So that is what she does for a living. So we stay quite busy in that regard. So I do try to watch it, and of course, I obviously work and take care of my family as well. So I'm going to try to see as much football as I possibly can, and do as much as this kind of sort of eyes on Texas stuff as I can as well, which is going to be the main reason why I do want to broaden and expand this program. One of the reasons why I do want to broaden and expand the channel, so I can get more time to do the things that I love, man. And the things that I love is I love football, I love sports, and I love my family. So those are things that I want to spend more time doing. So that's what I'm doing. But of our 5 commitments so far, who is going to be the ones that you guys are going to be the most excited about? Who are going to be the ones that you're very much excited about of our 5 commitments that we do have this far? As I do believe that we are the number 7th overall ranked so far in the class of 2022 by 247 Sports. That's the composite site that I do, in fact, mainly do go by. As you do know, if you do in fact watch the channel. Speaking of the channel, I don't know if anybody did watch it. I put out volume 1 of a 3-part series of all of the recruits in the 2021 class. I divided up in increments of 7. So we have 21 recruits. So the math says that there's going to be 3 videos. And so I just dropped my first one a few days ago. Probably going to have volume 2, looking to get it out probably late Saturday night is when I'm going to have that one completely finished up, polished up, and buttoned up for everybody. So hopefully y'all enjoy that. So be most definitely on the lookout for that coming down the pike, without a doubt, talking about volume 2 of the entire class from 2022. Looking good so far. Working a little bit harder on the videos. I just used to just kind of sort of throw them out there just a little bit. Now that it's the off season, now that everything's slowing down a little bit, there's not quite so many games. The football season, off season is slowing down a little bit. I can focus in a little bit, producing a little bit better as far as the highlight stuff. But I'm definitely going to continue on doing doing this kind of sort of stuff. Love doing the live stream. Love seeing doing these live events for you guys. So without a doubt, yeah, man. Jason Moore, God bless your wife for teaching those kids. Yep, you're welcome. It's a thing of love. It's something she very much enjoys doing. She gets a lot of stuff out of that. Lots of internal feedback from herself, but I appreciate that as well. But any final closing thoughts, any kind of sort of final questions? I do plan on doing another one probably Saturday. This was going to be the class of 22, the new offers, what we had going on there. I do have pretty much with the same thing, crystal balls for the class of 23, and then as far as new offers in the class of 23, and kind of where headway we're making in that class as well. But any more questions for me? Anybody right now? It's been going a little bit just over an hour. I've been enjoying every single second of it with you guys as I sip on my Cane's fried chicken cup. Horns up to you too, H7. Horns up to you, sir. All right. Anybody got anything else? Well, like I said, I like to be a positive person. The rising tide does, in fact, float all boats. If you do see anybody else struggling in life, just go ahead and help them out, as you would very much appreciate that if that shoe was on the other foot. But please holla at your boy. Please, everybody, be safe, be warm. as life can come out and jump you in the booty. If you don't have any other questions, I'm just going to go ahead and end this up right now. All right, it's your boy AK, but if you do like this content, go ahead and like this video. Thumbs up, please, if you have not already. There are 12 of y'all in here. Please, I want all 12 of y'all to put those thumbs up if you have not done already. And subscribe to the channel if you not have already, as I am AK, owner-operator of the Eyes on Texas channel, reminding you, keep your head in a swivel and your eyes on Texas. Hook 'em up.